welcome back to Cricket for Americans. Nick here, and I am bringing you my 3 wickets for ODI Match 2 that I watched most of, actually. I streamed the first inning. With some of my closest friends on Cricket for Americans, and then I couldn't sleep too much, and so I watched, I think, 35-ish innings or 35-ish overs of India's inning. Okay, so I watched most of the match, and I'm going to bring you my thoughts in my 3 wickets in this match. Now, I would have brought this to you yesterday, but I don't record on Sundays, so this is a day late. Australia won the second match. They won the series already. They scored 389 off 4 wickets. India 338 on 9 wickets. They were almost bowled out, but they made it to the 50-over mark. They needed 390, and so they came quite short. Now, this is a match that Australia, they just flat out won. This series, they flat out won by being the better team. They were the better team on the field. They were the better team bowling. They were the better team batting. And no matter what you can say about anything right now, they were the better team. Now, I know there's a whole lot of truth and a whole lot of people that are going to yell and say, but this is Australia, Nick. It's not fair. Australia is dominant on Australia. And yes, they are. Look at the record. It shows that, and I get that. But I don't like excuses. I don't. I like to believe that in sports, there's a chance that any team can win. In this series, in these first 2 matches, Australia was by far the better team. I mean, they've beaten India by 60 runs and now 51. I think it was like 66 runs and now 51 runs. Those aren't cheapies. They scored almost 400 runs in back-to-back matches. Australia is a juggernaut right now. They are in amazing shape, but they did suffer a huge injury. David Warner, huge injury. I think it was a groin pull. He did not look too well when he was trying to hobble himself off the field. I felt horrible for him. Hopefully for him and his family, he's okay and he can recover, but I don't see him playing in the next Test series coming up very soon. I don't see that happening, but let's go ahead and jump into this. What did I dislike? I'm going to start with what I disliked today. What did I dislike? From the Australia side, was there anything to dislike? Not on the batting side. You know how much I love myself some batting. There's not one thing to dislike on the batting side. Not one thing. So I'm going to skip right past that. What did I not like on the bowling side? What is going on with Mitchell Starc? What is going on with this guy? He is an all-class, amazing bowler, one of the top-ranked bowlers in at least some of the formats, if not at least one of them. What is going on with this guy? Is it rust? It's not like he doesn't know how to bowl in Australia. What is happening to this guy? 9 overs, 82 runs, by far the highest economy rate of anyone else. Okay? He did have 23 dots, which puts him in the middle of the pack of the guys that bowled in Australia. He gave up the most 4s. He gave up the most 6s. He didn't have any wides, but he did have a no ball. What's going on with this guy? And he had 0 wickets. That's the most important thing. He had 0 wickets. Okay, everyone else had a wicket. They almost bowled out India. Mitchell Starc, he had a few good overs, but for the most part, he was the guy that we were going to launch off of. When I say we, I say India. Big surprise. I was rooting for India here. But what's going on with Mitchell Starc? He did not show a dominant presence whatsoever. I don't want to say he doesn't look comfortable. I don't know what it is. It could be rust. Who knows? Who knows? I'm not sure what's happening with him, but I did not like his performance. Everyone else bowled decently to above average. Okay? This new guy, I'll talk about, maybe I won't, I'll talk about it right now. Enriquez, the guy who replaced Stoinis, and he's not new. They say he hasn't played either on the Australian team or the ODI team for 3 years. Okay? He's been around. 7 overs, 34 runs, the lowest economy rate of anyone else that bowled for Australia. And he got himself a wicket. He only gave up 1 4. He only gave up 1 6. He only gave up 1 wide. Okay? This guy, and he only bowled 7 overs. This guy was phenomenal. Lowest economy rate, 4.85. This guy was great. There was nothing else to dislike from Australia's side. They got 9 wickets. They scored almost 400 runs. Okay? Moving right on to India. I'm not even wearing the India hat right now because I want to wear a hat of a winner. Champions, that's right. Champions, Lakers. I want to wear the hat of a winner right now. Nothing against India fans. I know, turn on me. Go ahead. What's going on? I know it's Australia, but I don't want to keep hearing that song and dance. What is going on? What did I dislike? Oh, my goodness gracious. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The first 7 guys, they all got at least 24 runs. I like that. No ducks. Okay? Until you get to Boomerang. But, come on. You don't have Boomerang on there for a stick. The first 7 guys got at least 24 runs or more. All of them, besides Pandya, had a strike rate of 100 or more. They scored 338. That's a good score, is it not? I'm not going to trash the batting. Even though, once again, until we get to Boomerang, everything was an out by a catch. Right? And I don't really have a point there. But they all, just like the last one, I think 7 out of 8 of those were catches. What can be done? This is what we've got to be thinking about in the coach's room. What can we do to prevent, not those catches, but to prevent those shots where they're being catchable every single time? On the other end, when Australia was batting, nothing could be caught. They were hitting things. It was straight in the air, can of corn, but it was dropping with no man's land every single time, except for, of course, the few. Look at this. 7 catches. The first 7 outs were all catches, whether it was edges. None of them were edges. Cummins, Hazelwood. No, sorry. Carey, Stark. Yeah, so there's an edge right there. Carey, Stark, Enriquez, Smith, Hazelwood, Smith, Maxwell. And 2 of those catches were phenomenal. You can't really put that against India. But you've got to not only protect the wickets, because we had some early wickets. Once again, early wickets. Once again, Agarwal, Dewan, they were getting going. They were having a great partnership. They had 58 together, and then they both went down, boom, boom. Just as they were getting things going, they got to that 20-run mark. You would think they'd get cooking. You would think they'd be settled, and they went down. You can't do that when you're cooking. You can't do that. Why doesn't it show me where the wickets fell? It's not show. Here we go. Okay. And after 58 in the 8th over and the 9th over. Right there. Dewan and Agarwal. Not when you're getting cooking. Not when you got to chase a bazillion runs. Not when both of your strike rates are over the 100 strike rate point. Dewan 130. Dewan 5-4s. Agarwal 4-4s. You can't let that happen so early. And I do consider the 8th and 9th over early. That's what I did not like. I did not like those early wickets because then the rest of the match is, here we go. And then you got Pandya. He had a strike rate under 90. Did his bowling, he did a great job bowling. Did his bowling in the earlier inning, did that affect him as a batsman? Because they say he's got a bad back. Bowling takes a lot out of you. He couldn't stand watching his boys get lit up, so he wanted to go in there. Kohli wanted him to go in there. Did that affect? I think so. Only 1-6, only 1-4, strike rate of 90. And I'm all for getting someone that can bowl, and I mentioned this in the first one, but now if it's going to affect his batting, okay, we have 5 other bowlers. They can't get their job done, then we're sunk. Then India's sunk. Okay, I didn't like that. And then, these guys at the bottom here. Now, Saini's not out. Fine, he got 10 on 10 balls. Mohammad Shami, Bumrah, they saw 6 balls together, combined 2 wickets. Walking wickets. I mean, I'm not sure what can be done right there, but 4 bowlers aren't the best hitters, aren't the best batsmen, so you have to rely on the top 7 guys, which that should be enough in most cases when you have these kind of guys. That's what I did not like. Let me move on to what I liked. And hold on. Back to what I did not like. I forgot about this. Once again, the fielding position, something's got to be done with this. Something's got to be done with the fielding position because every single ball was out of reach once again. Balls were in the air for 50 years and no one was around there whatsoever. You think Australia was not positioned perfectly? They were everywhere. Something's got to be done with the fielding position. You're going to say, Nick, what are you talking about? No. Something has got to be done. Something has got to be done with the fielding position. Please. Because it's just, 5 or 6 times. You got to be kidding me. Could have got a ball caught. And it's right there. Something has got to be done. And the bowling, oh my gosh, the bowling. The bowling. I forgot to mention it. The bowling I did not like at all from India. These are the guys. Saini, 10-run economy rate. Experiment failed. Agarwal, yeah, he had 1 over, whatever. Okay? Pandya was great. But the guys that you rely on, Shami, economy rate of 8. Bumrah, economy rate of almost 8. Chahal, economy rate of almost 8. Not to mention 9 fours, 9 fours, 7 fours. Chahal only gave up 4. I mean, we've got to do something. Very few dots. Very few dots. We've got to do something on the bowling side. Can't get rid of all of them, but we've got to do something. We need to. Jadeja struggled early, but he was able to pick up that economy rate, bring it down. Can't get any wickets to save our lives. Can't get any wickets to save India's life whatsoever. That's what I did not like, the bowling. Surprise, surprise. What did I like? There was a whole lot to like on the Australia side. 5. That's all I'm going to say right there. 5. 5. The first 5 guys all got 50s. The first 5 guys all got 60s. You had another century from SPD Smith. 83 from Warner before he got injured. And he got injured fielding. Labuschagne, 70. I mean, this is just insane. The first 5 guys all got 50s. Glenn Maxwell, again, with his insane Herculean effort with his strike rate of over 200. These guys are animals. These guys are monsters. These guys are licking their chops in Australia. They wanted to get 400. And the first 5 guys got 50s, got 60s plus. It's absolutely amazing to watch. Australia, if you're an Australia fan, that was a beautiful thing to watch. It was unbelievable. And it starts with that partnership of Warner and Finch. They set the tone. Once again, they got to that 140 partnership mark. You get to 140 as a partnership, and it's not way late and you're not playing test. What are you going to do about that? How are you going to stop that? Because then SPD Smith, and it took some time once again for him to get going, but once again, 100 on 62 balls. Once again. And again, it took him some time to get going. This guy was a monster with his 14 fours. 14 fours! And he had 2 6s, but 14 fours. Smith is phenomenal right now. He is in such a class. He's in such a form right now. And you're going to tell me Australia, you're going to tell me, I don't care. Back-to-back centuries? Back-to-back centuries? How often does that happen? Glenn Maxwell. Where's this guy been? 217 strike rate, 4 6s, 63 on 29. He only got 29 balls and he got 63. It took Finch 69 balls to get to his 60. Maxwell had more runs with way less balls. Less than half as much balls, and he got 63. Glenn Maxwell was phenomenal. And you guys have been calling for the big show. Now I see the big show. Whoa! I see it. This guy is phenomenal. This guy is phenomenal. I mean, as someone who likes batting, I was just in awe the entire time. Another 4. Another 4. I mean, these guys are just out of control. They're out of control. It was a beautiful thing to watch. Their run rate was almost 8 in ODI. Absolutely phenomenal. And the only reason Maxwell didn't get more runs, they ran out of overs. My gosh. I mentioned Henriquez. This guy was fantastic as a bowler and he had an amazing catch. The fielding, Smith and Henriquez both had diving catches. Should I say Jonte Rhodes-esque? Diving catches. I didn't know Smith had that in him. I think he had 1 or 2 of them. Absolute phenomenal fielding. More than above average bowling, but not great because they gave up 338. And amazing batting. This team is out of control. It'll be interesting to see what happens without Warner. That opening partner in the opening partnership. It'll be interesting. You can't lose a Warner, right? And expect to still put up near 400. But you never know. This team is out of control. There's some guys that even got a chance to bat yet for Australia. Bowling, once again, Zampa, the spinner. Economy rate of 6, but he had 2 wickets. P.J. Cummins, economy rate almost 7, but he had 3 wickets. Okay? The bowling was not... And Hazelwood, this guy. Where did Hazelwood come from? He's probably been there, and this is the first time I noticed him. This guy is phenomenal. Every time he goes up there, I'm like, oh, he's going to get a wicket. He's going to get a big wicket. Who did he get this time? Who are the guys he got this time? Oh, Kohli and Dewan. He always gets big wickets. And he caught Raul. Hazelwood is a nightmare if you're an India fan. He's crushing it. He's doing a phenomenal job. He's in great form right now. All of Australia is just lights out. What I like on the India side, I mentioned for about 5 minutes at least, 5 or 10 minutes at the end, I went off on Kohli. And I mentioned all the way throughout. And I still hold true to my statement about his decision-making and being a captain. But you guys have been saying it, and you guys were right. He's a monster when it comes to the bat. He got 89 on 87. What I did not like was his low strike rate, though. You're chasing a huge total. There was times where the runs they needed and the balls that were left, it was always like 100 more or 80 more. Okay? And I understand he's doing the best he can. He plays off the singles, and then he scores up when he gets his chance. But he relies on those singles, and I get that's his game, and that's fine. But in this match, the only complaint I had for him, he did phenomenal, was the low strike rate. 89. This guy came in the 8th over, shored things up for a long time. Him and Iyer had a decent partnership, but then Iyer got caught. That great catch by Smith, that might have been the match, ladies and gentlemen. That might have been the match because Iyer was in good form. Him and Kohli were doing some things. And Smith dove for that and caught it before it hit the ground. That might have been the match. That was an amazing catch. But then KL Raul, orange cap, comes in. 76 off 66. He was phenomenal. With his 5 sixes. Oh, yeah, that's right. He can hit sixes. His 5 sixes. Strike rate of 115. Jadeja. Now, I did not see. I had to fall asleep at this point. 24 off 11. That's great. But he got caught by Maxwell. I mean, these catches are just killing him. Pandya got caught by Smith. Muhammad Shami caught and bowled by Maxwell. I loved the fight. India had fight in them. They weren't going down easily. They could have easily done like a 189 or a 220, like whatever. We suck. But they had fight in them, and I liked that. But my point with Kohli was the captaincy, the selection, Saini, the selection of who's being bowled and where the fielding's going at. You've given them almost 400 back-to-back. You've got to account for that. But at least he led by example with the bat. He was their best batsman once again. How many times has he done that? That's great, but you need more than that as a captain. But I don't want to take away from what he did. And Henrique's catch off him was a great catch. It was a phenomenal catch. Or he was on his way to 100. He really was. I like seeing the fight, though. I like seeing the fight in KL Raul. I like the opening partnership by Agarwal Dewan. Went down too early, both of them. That was the match, and that catch by Smith was the match in India trying to chase a historic chase. Not an easy chase. Super difficult chase. We're talking, it hasn't been done too many times in the history of cricket chase in ODIs. But I liked their fight. Their fight was phenomenal. What did I learn? Oh, well, I learned about the Big Show. Glenn Maxwell is a nightmare. You better lock your doors at night. You better make sure those latches on your windows are in working order. You better make sure you check on your kids at nighttime because Glenn Maxwell is a monster. He's going to break their hearts if they like cricket, if they're not Australia fans. This guy is absolutely phenomenal, and I've seen him in back-to-back matches. 45 off 19, 63 off 29. Are you kidding me? 45-63, that's 108. 29-19, that's 48 balls. 48 balls! This guy is out of control. I believe both times he ran out of balls. They might have gotten it out at the end. I'm not sure. I learned that Maxwell is a beast. I learned that Finch is captaining phenomenally. He's a great captain. I did not give him enough credit. He leads with the bat. He has great selection of when he brings in those bowlers and he gets those wickets. I mean, they got the wickets when they needed to. He puts his team in the right position. He's got the best squad out there. He loses Stoinis and he brings in Enriquez after 3 years. And I know it's not just Finch. I know Justin Langer. Hats off to you. I know the selection committee. I know all that for cricket in Australia. But he's the captain. Give him the man some credit. Phenomenal job. He's a better captain than I thought he was, and I already thought he was pretty good. What did I learn on the India side? I don't think it's fair enough yet to say that they're just not enough competition for Australia because this is in Australia. This is. Okay? It's not fair to say that yet. But fielding placement is of the utmost importance right now. And where are you going to get the wickets? What bowlers in India that are up to the task are there available to get those? I think Chakravarti was a T20 squad, but he's injured. He's not going to be there. What bowlers do you have for ODIs in India that can get you some? You need those wickets. You need fielding placement and wickets would have made this a completely different match. And I hate playing the would have, could have game, but they would have. Who's going to be that fourth and fifth bowlers? Because I'm telling you right now, Saini, I'm sure you're a great person. Not cutting the mustard. Okay? You're not cutting the mustard. And I'm sorry. Jadeja's not getting those wickets. We need the wickets. I know he's an all-rounder. You're not going to take away his bat. You're not going to take away his bowling. He's one guy and you get 2 in for 1. I get it. Where are the wickets going to come from? Bumrah. Maybe you got to sit Bumrah. He does not look. I'm not sure what's going on. I don't know if he's a little exhausted from the IPL. Win his 5th championship for Mumbai. I don't know what's going on. Bumrah is not Bumrah. He's not. He does not look the same. He does not look comfortable out there. Where are you going to get the wickets at? I learned that you need fielding placement and you need some bowlers to get wickets. There was someone in the chat that said this is the best bowler. These are the best bowlers that India has to offer for ODI. I respectfully disagree. Where are the bowlers going to come from? You need it. I learned that those decisions made in the scouting report for fielding placement for each batsman, for each situation, for each power play is of the utmost importance because I believe that not paying enough attention to that and making the right decisions cost India. Big time. And I learned that in Australia is a juggernaut. They know how to play. Does any team have the same home film advantage that Australia has? Does any team have that? I can't say England does because look at the Ashes. Australia dominates that. No matter where they're at. Does any team, or is it every team? Is the home field advantage that big of a deal? Because this is we saw England dominate in England. Maybe. And I just said England doesn't, but I just saw them with my own eyes. Home field advantage is huge. And Australia, hats off for taking advantage of it. It makes that series win that India had in Australia a few years ago even bigger. I never once said Kohli needs to be dropped from the team, not at all, but I think there needs to be a captaincy change or he needs to take a hard look at the decisions, the things that he's doing. I can't imagine how hard and stressful it is, but hey, you took the job. Let's make sure we get those fielding placements. Let's make sure we get those bowlers that we need to get wickets. And let's make sure we can catch the ball. That's what I learned from India. Australia, hats off. You did a phenomenal job. Phenomenal job. My Bundaberg goes off to you, my friend. Phenomenal job. It's a lot of fun to watch this. Let me know what your thoughts are. Please, I would love to hear them. I do read them. I promise I'm going to read those comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, wow.